To extend Copilot, it's really important to understand there's two essentially facets that we can go towards. There's skills development and there's knowledge that you can gain. From a foundational point of view, the foundation starts with large language models, which you'll see over here, large language models, which are grounded in the content in terms of how they reason with the questions that you might have. It also lines up with the internet, which is connecting with either Bing or other external sources that provide you up-to-date information. And Copilot for 365 also integrates with your M365 applications, as well as with the graph, which is your data. And we're going to dive into a little bit about the graph as well. The access in terms of where you can interact and how users interact is going to be across your Office suite, both in Outlook, Word, Excel, even the Windows applications that you have in Copilot, as well as through Bing. And as Microsoft started to release a lot more features and a lot more products, you're seeing about 100 plus ways that users can interact. So the Copilot experience and the knowledge is going to be available and accessible everywhere through Microsoft 365. The way to extend this is actually looking at what users can do. These are the skills that people can actually take advantage of. Of course, the most popular is going to be leveraging Copilot plugins to search, summarize, answer questions, and take actions across data, your line of business, as well as your third-party applications. And what you're also starting to see through Power BI, Power Apps, Power Pages, through your Excel documents and other applications, that you're going to gain a lot more skills. And this is all grounded on the data that you have. So first and foremost, the data is based off of Microsoft 365 in your environment. You'll get a lot of insights from that, as well as additional connectors that you might include. To extend Copilot, it's really important to understand there's two essentially facets that we can go towards. There's skills development and there's knowledge that you can gain. So from a knowledge point of view, you're looking at your Microsoft Graph, which is your data, and then you're also extending that with your intranet. The other way to extend the skills is not just Microsoft 365 applications, but it's also looking at leveraging plugins as well as graph connectors. The graph connectors at the bottom that you see there highlight and extend the knowledge that the language models have, the Copilot has, and the skills are how you can extend skills by building your own custom plugins. Let's go into how we want to expand Copilot, what it knows and what it can do for you. Let's go into the three major areas here. So first and foremost, a lot of organizations are looking to adopt Copilot. That's priority one. That's the first thing you want to do is start using the tools itself. And there's a lot of tools. So Copilot for Microsoft 365, there's Copilot for Dynamics 365, from sales to customer service to many other products there, as well as Copilot for Power Platform, from the Power Automate, Power Apps, Power BI, as well as Power Pages have Copilot functionality built into them that you can start adding, as well as Copilot in Windows, Edge, and Bing. And for personal users or personal accounts, you have the ability to adopt Copilot leveraging Copilot Pro. And of course, for a lot of developers, there's GitHub Copilot. So there's many ways to adopt Copilot, a lot of ways to interact. And that's step one, is understanding what the experience is going to be and how people actually use it from a day-to-day perspective. To extend Copilot, there's a lot of different ways to do that as well. And we're going to dive into that as part of this webinar. Is number one, you can use plugins and connectors. Essentially being able to build your own plugins and connectors through the Power Platform is a really good way to kind of low-code way to extend Copilot capabilities within your organization. And that's to extend it. Now, if you want to build your own Copilot, you can absolutely do that through the Teams AI library. You can use that through Azure AI Studio, which allows you to bring in, not just take advantage of the OpenAI LLMs that are available, but also other LLMs that are available as well, and actually tweak and customize a lot of the reasoning that's built into the large language models. And then, of course, another way to build it that you're going to start seeing quite a bit is Microsoft Copilot Studio. Now, this is what we're going to focus on a lot on this webinar as well, is the low-code kind of pre-built Azure AI services and how to take advantage of those. One common question that we get quite a bit is, how can we extend Copilot to take advantage of our data? So I want to just level set first and foremost is highlighting that the Microsoft Graph, for those that are leveraging Microsoft 365, there is the Microsoft Graph, which creates and collects and kind of builds a network of all the different signals available across all your Microsoft 365 applications, from the chat messages that you have, from the interactions, from how you use your applications, to the time that you spend with your team and your colleagues. All that data that is being collected is being used to reason and to create relationships between a lot of the data that's stored in there. So Microsoft 365 is learning about how you use data, how people are connected, and those knowledge and insights are today being surfaced up through Microsoft Search, and then they're also being embedded into some of the Microsoft 365 applications. So I think this is probably the area that I want to make sure as technical leaders, as developers, something that you understand really well is the orchestration between Copilot and the plugins to the data. That's really important. So just understanding that there are foundational LLMs that are available in the Microsoft Cloud, and those foundational models, along with your data, as well as the AI infrastructure, is what's kind of at the core of how the AI orchestration service coordinates and connects and responds back to the applications and surfaces up that data. So orchestration is going to be really important for you to understand, and how your plugins are involved in terms of prioritization for the requests that come through. Coming back to this, I'm hoping I gave you a very quick overview of the Copilot service, the orchestration service as well, and how Copilot service is able to actually retrieve the plugins that it needs from the plugin catalog and then share that as part of its responses. Extending your Copilot and creating your own Copilot will become more and more important as you start leveraging not just Copilot, but actually start building your own Copilots. You're going to recognize the immense value and are going to try to work on maximizing the return on your investments. So just want to encourage everyone to take advantage of Copilot as much as possible. If you haven't started adopting that within your organization today, you haven't started adopting Copilot, would encourage you to do that. If you have purchased the licenses already today, there is an AI adoption report available through the Microsoft 365 tenant that will show you adoptions. And for a lot of the customers that have purchased it, we've seen adoption rates as low as 4%, 6%. So I want to encourage that more and more users start leveraging it, more and more employees start leveraging it.